Anything you wanna do, I already done it. And I got your little boo telling me she love me. I got this one, that one. Damn, it's gonna be a long night. Yeah. You know. I said, damn, it's gonna be a long night. Yeah, let's go.
Hello guys, what is up? It is me, Prince of this, and I'm back here with another video. Today I am doing What If Naofumi Had the Sharingan, Part 2, and y'all been waiting for this one for a while, so let's get right into it. Now, quick little recap. Naofumi was endowed with powerful abilities from birth which he retained in his eyes. His eyes were called a Sharingan, and he learned that later on. He lived a fairly good life because of how strong he was, until he was summoned to another world, where he finds out a bit more about his strange eyes and realized that he is way stronger than he thought. Compared to the other heroes, he grew fast, very fast with his level, and even without party members, he always found a way to solve situations by himself. But now he's in a bit of a pickle. Now, it picks Naofumi enters the throne room ready to give the king a run for his money. When he enters, everyone is silent, and he sees everyone staring at him with scorn and mind hiding behind Moriyasu. Naofumi says, "Alright, what do you want from..." The king cuts him off. "Silence! You are forbidden from uttering another word. What you have done is atrocious. My daughter, I know this must hurt you, but could you tell us what happened?" She lies about him raping her and starts to fake cry when Naofumi cuts her off, saying, "Where's your evidence?" The king says, What do you mean, devil? Did you not hear what she said?" Naofumi says, "I heard. Where's your proof? Do you really think you can scare me with lies? It's obvious that you and your daughter are conspiring against me." Moriyasu gets mad. "How could you say that after what you did, you rapist?" Ren then questions, "Did you really do this?" Naofumi then gets mad. "Are you dumb? You saw me leave into the forest to grind levels. I reached level 30 yesterday. You think I could gain that by attacking her?" Everyone is shocked. The king is completely baffled. You're lying. There is no way the shield could be that strong, so you're guilty." Itsuki then says he's not lying. He's actually level 31 now. Moriyasu gets really scared. "How are you doing this?" Naofumi says it's called hard work. Besides, I don't really care what you think or say. You're literally the dumbest out of the group. You're being swayed by a girl who's just playing you like a fiddle, because I guess you're just that desperate to get a girlfriend? Out of all of us, you're the most vulnerable, and honestly, I'm happy you're opposing me, because I've been waiting to kick your ass. Moriyasu feels bloodlust aimed at him. Ren then says, "Actually, he's right. This feels really forced, and you kept interrupting him on purpose before." Itsuki then says, "What the hell's going on here?" The king is sweating, he's nervous, and out of frustration he yells, I'm the king, just arrest him. I order you." He says this towards the heroes as well, but they don't budge. However, the guards do, and they attack him, and Naofumi dodges all their attacks easily and knocks them out by neck chopping them. He doesn't kill them because he knows that they have no choice but to follow orders, and it'd be wrong to just murder people. Naofumi then says, "Everyone in this country is just a retard. You just confirmed my level is 30, 31, and you still try to send normal guards at me. How are you the king of this country?" Jeez. Anyway, I don't know what your grudge is against me. I don't know who you are. You don't know who the hell I am. I just came into this world a few days ago. I don't care what you think that I did, but I didn't do anything against your daughter. Leave me alone. I could literally wipe you all out right now. And the first people I go after is obviously you, and then the rest of your country. I don't owe you any respect. Don't think I'm just gonna stand by while you try to take me down. And by the way, mine, not that I really care about you, but if you keep doing this, I'll go after you personally first. He then walks out of the room, and everyone knows that it's wrong to mess with him, but the king still has the balls to try because he's mad, and Mine feels embarrassed about how badly their plan was foiled. Naofumi is walking out, and everyone gets out of his way as they see him, and they still believe that he did what the king said and, proclaimed to everybody in the kingdom. Naofumi then sighs, saying, "These words are way more fun when you see them in anime." Not that this is bad, I'm actually enjoying myself as a matter of fact. He walks through the city trying to leave as fast as possible because he's done with this place for today and he just wants to go hunt. And people are still looking at him, just avoiding him, and it's pissing him off. On the way, he meets Ironheart, who looks at him straight in the eye, and Naofumi angrily just says, "What, you think I did it?" Ironheart then looks him straight in the eye, like into his soul, says, "There's no way you did that. How did this happen to you, kid?" Naofumi says, "I don't know, but you probably shouldn't talk to me. Forget about the armor." He walks past him sighing as all of a sudden something hits his head and he looks behind to see a bag. Ironheart then leaves saying nothing back into a shop. As the confused Naofumi checks what's in the bag. It was his armor, and Naofumi says thank you. Naofumi is now outside the city getting levels and realizes that he's gaining less and less XP after now being level 35. And then soon he couldn't get anything, even like his clones like run out of places for him to go beat monsters. So he just says, "I'll go back for today." He goes to an inn and gets something to eat when he's approached by a bunch of assholes. 3, actually. One of them says, "Hey, the shield hero. We noticed you're kind of in need of party members. We would love to be taken in by the great shield hero." Naofumi then says, "Step into my office, boys." He then gives a hand motion telling him to follow him, and they follow him, laughing behind his back until they're out in the streets. Naofumi then says, "Yeah, gotta be honest, guys, you just don't deserve to be in my party. Hope you don't mind the rejection." And one of them says, "Oh, screw this, just give us all your money or else." Naofumi then says, "Or else what?" They get mad at this and rush in with daggers. Naofumi uses airstrike shield to jump over them and uses windburst to make them bump into each other as they fall. One of the bandits then gets up saying, "God damn it, you're just a shield hero." He goes in for Naofumi's head when Naofumi dodges and he activates his skill Fire Release, covering his hands with scorching flames. Then he uses a corkscrew punch and slams it into his chest. The bandit cuffs up, the guy cuffs up Blood as he falls over, leaving Naofumi's hands stained with blood. He looks up, activating a Sharingan and a shit ton of bloodlust at the others. The bandits then say, He's a monster! He's a devil! A devil!" Naofumi then says, yeah, I'm the monster. Then he looks at the irony of all this, the fact that they attacked him trying to take his money and then called him a monster, and kind of laughs a bit. As he says this, a strange man pops out of the alleyway. He's pretty short and has a mustache, also wearing a monocle, and looks really creepy. The man then says, "Hello, young man." Naofumi turns around, and this is the slave trader, and he says, "Would you perhaps be interested in doing some business with me?" Naofumi says, "And what type of business would that be?" The slave trader then says, "Why, buying slaves, of course." Naofumi is completely disgusted, but he realizes that he has to get someone's help to teach him more about this world, to know more in general, because apparently everyone's out for his head anyway, so he might as well. He has to adapt to this world's rules. Besides, he's not an asshole. He's not gonna kill a slave because he feels mad. So he follows him to his shop. There he sees demi-humans in cages, and he is shown to the strongest creatures in the back, which are around level 75, 80-ish. And the slave trader is bragging about them, and he's deciding who to choose, still being a bit uncomfortable because the area is completely unsanitary, and it's just sad to walk around. And then all of a sudden he hears coughing. He turns around and sees the little raccoon girl. She looks very sick. He approaches her cage. "How much for this girl?" The slave trader then says, "Oh, she won't be any good. She's probably going to die very soon." Naofumi then looks back at him. "I said, how much?" The slave trader looks at him and smiles. "You're an interesting young man, aren't you?" They then go through the process of making Raphtalia his slave. He then asks her for her name in a gentle manner, trying to be nice, because he just bought a freaking child. What would they expect, How would he expect her to like him? And this puts off Raphtalia a bit, but if she doesn't tell him, well, she knows what's going to happen because of her slave crest. And she says, while coughing a bit, that her name is Raphtalia. Then she starts to really get into it and starts to cough a lot and falls on her knees, unable to get up. She's very scared because she's not greeting her master properly, and she's getting ready to take a hit when she's surprised. because Naofumi picks her up and carries her out of the shop with a warm smile. Raphtalia then says, "Beautiful," and Naofumi says, "What?" Raphtalia then says nothing and stops looking at his face. And Naofumi then says, "Look, I'm not gonna do whatever you think I'm gonna do. This is a partnership. You give me information, I protect you." He then puts her down and kneels in to see how tired she looks. "But first, let's get you some food and some clothes." So he takes her to buy some clothes, and they go outside the city to give her a quick little rinse somewhere where people won't be around. And using his wind nature, he blasts her with water to clean her up. Of course, she was scared, but soon she was somewhat clean, and Naofumi looks away and lets her put her clothes on. When she's done, she tells Naofumi, and he turns around and says, "You look great. Now let's get some food. Then we hunt." Naofumi has a twinkle in his eyes when he says this, making Raphtalia question what kind of master she now has. They're on their way to the inn when Raphtalia notices how people look at Naofumi, and she's scared to even step into the inn since she's also a slave and a demi-human. And this country is not that, nice to demi-humans. When they arrive, Naofumi orders something and the waiter begrudgingly says, "Coming right up," obviously being mad because, he's a shield. And as he gets their meal, Naofumi then notices that Raphtalia wasn't sitting down. And he says, "Like I said, we're partners. It's okay for you to sit down." Raphtalia then scared says, "But it's unbefitting of a slave to do that." Naofumi then says, "Fine. Then this is an order. Sit down, okay?" She does so, and when the food comes for the first time in years, Raphtalia eats till she's full. Naofumi also has a bit of money, so she gets more of his portion. And because also he's not that hungry and he doesn't want to starve her, since she's probably not had that many good meals by her constitution. I mean, she looks like a freaking, a skeleton. Then he goes back to Ironheart with her and paid for her to get a sword. He also promises to pay for the armor soon, and Ironheart says, "Don't worry, I'll put it on your tab." Then they go to beat monsters, and Raphtalia weirdly is actually doing pretty good. Even though she's receiving help from Naofumi, she's still doing pretty awesome right now. And Naofumi wonders why that is so, and the system has a message pop up that tells him that people in his party naturally get adapted to fighting faster. It's also kind of like a trance thing where they don't even know they're fighting that well. They're just really focused into it. And it's kind of weird to Naofumi. And it shows him the certain skill that the Sharingan, has given him, which is King's Rule. I made it up, obviously. The stronger he gets, the stronger he is, his teammates are also stronger. And the stronger they get, the stronger he gets. Also, since he also gains more XP faster, so do his teammates. So Raphtalia, after beating one monster, she became level 3 right away. And after doing this for a while, Raphtalia starts to cough up again. So they stop for the day and camp out. By this point, Naofumi had risen his fire release and wind burst skill pretty high, and it has more output. But his Sharingan isn't evolving at all, and he finds it bizarre. But instead of dwelling on it for now, he uses some other skills. He gained a potion making skill, since he's also the shield hero and he mostly works in support. It's stronger than average. So he concocts one for Raphtalia and wakes her up. Naofumi then says, "Here, drink, it's medicine." Raphtalia drinks some and she hates the taste, and she says it's really bitter, and Naofumi says, "That means it's working, drink some more." She does so despite it tasting gross, and it instantly takes effect. This makes a new skill pop up in front of Naofumi titled Medical Ninjutsu. This skill allowed him to see and detect illnesses, as well as treat them by soothing people with his water nature, which will have a green color when he's using the skill. Think of it like water bending, how people heal people with water bending. And but right now he can't really do much. He can only detect illnesses. If he tried to soothe someone, it would work, but it wouldn't kill the bacteria or whatever is infecting them super fast. But he's gonna have a little bit of a boost, and right now if he uses the Sharingan, it actually boosts the ability already. Anyway, and the bad thing is that he can't actually use it on himself. But he has, HP recovery and all that, so it's all good. The next day then comes as Naofumi moves on to monsters who actually have blood. Obviously for Raphtalia to fight them. However, something weird happens here that didn't happen in the anime or manga, which is that Raphtalia fiercelessly, like literally no fear, stabbed the creature, spilling its guts out and a shit ton of blood. And then she comes to the realization of what she had done. Like I said, the king's rule thing, that puts her in kind of a trance where she doesn't realize what she's doing after she's before she's done, but she's gonna get the hang of it. But right now she's pretty scared and she's a child. She sees blood on her hands and screams in horror and says, why did I do this? No. She then passes out as Naofumi starts to panic, wondering why she reacted the way she did, and the message pops up again and shows him what the King's Roll skill actually does, and he realizes that she must have been she must have been in some sort of trance until the monster is dead, and that's how the skill usually works, until she actually gets control over herself and gets used to the skill. Naofumi then says, "Oh, this is all my fault. Damn it." He could do nothing but watch over her until she woke up, and when she did, she jumped at Naofumi crying in his arms, and Naofumi also shed a tear, saying, "I'm sorry that you had to do this, but Raphtalia, I have a job to do. If the waves ever show up again, I can't handle everything all on my own. I need your help." Raphtalia then surprised says, "The waves? Then you're the shield hero, right?" Naofumi's been blocking all the attacks instead of actually fighting, so she doesn't know about his skills yet. Naofumi then says, "Yeah, what, you don't like the shield?" Raphtalia then says, No, the shield is loved by demi-humans all around, and if you need my help, I'll do my best. Blood does still scare me, but I'll try not to let you down." Naofumi then says, "I'm sorry, I'd say I apologize for you to listen to my selfish request, but Raphtalia then says, it's fine." And she then falls back asleep in his arms until the next day, and they just, sleep. However, the next day, she woke up having a nightmare. She woke up and Naofumi comforted her and thinks that this girl has gone through way too much stuff, and that he must make her stronger at all costs and also protect her. Now we're going to skip to our heroes entering the mines after being tipped off by a merchant with the help of Ironheart, leading them to Loot Village, since Naofumi wanted to, make more money because the king didn't give him that much. But before they left, Naofumi actually saw some kids playing with a ball and everything, and he bought her a doll and a ball. And after that, they had some breakfast. The reason why he actually needed money is actually because, one, he wants to live more lavishly because he's not used to his lifestyle yet, because he used to own a company, and also he knows how to manage money. But he's also a merchant in this world, so he has that kind of pride, like, I need to make some money, bro. I just need money. Now, they arrive at the mine, and Naofumi lit up a torch as they enter a dark cave. They explore for a while and go deeper into the mine, and soon they see a spot where there is a bunch of ores. And so, using his new shield that he, has gained, he uses it for mining and just starts, digging up some stuff very efficiently. He digs one out and starts to look at it. However, this is when Raphtalia picks something up, and something out of the shadows comes out. The two-headed demon dog creature thing. Naofumi then looks back. "Hey, Raphtalia. Oh, this isn't gonna be good. Get ready." He then notices that she is completely out of it, as she's being reminded of her past trauma. The dog then rushes at her and she screams, leaving herself completely vulnerable. And luckily, using Wind Burst, Naofumi manages to rush at the dog and then lands a solid punch, also infusing that punch with another Wind Burst. And this sends the dog straight into the walls of the cave so hard that it actually cracks the walls, also revealing more ores. And Naofumi yells, "Jackpot!" And then he gets serious. "Raphtalia, remember what I told you? I'll be here to protect you. You don't need to fight. But if you don't do this now, you'll never get over your fear. And I can't help you in that department. Whatever actions you take, I'll take responsibility for them. I'll be your hero." Raphtalia, hearing this, takes out her sword as she surprises Naofumi when she rushes in and starts to stab the dog multiple times, not stopping and struggling The dog is struggling to get up from Naofumi's hit, so she keeps stabbing it, unable to stop because she knows that even the slightest opening that she gives will lead to a disadvantage and she will die. However, the dog still tries to bite her anyway, but when it tries, Naofumi uses his airstrike shield to protect her, and Raphtalia looks up and sees Naofumi behind her with strange eyes that almost look demonic. Raphtalia then crying says, "Did I do okay?" Raphtalia says, "Yeah, you did." She then hugs him tightly by the leg, looking away from the dog, but this is when Naofumi gets serious and says, "Raphtalia, don't look at this." He then extends his hand out as he uses fire release to burn the dog with flames, and it's unable to put them out, and it's actually going into his body because it was stabbed, so it is growling, and its whimpers and growls are echoing throughout the mine. And then that ended that adventure. Naofumi gained a new shield using that animal's, skin, and it has the two-headed shield dog, whatever the hell that is. You know what I mean. That shield is weird, by the way. Naofumi and Raphtalia then went on adventures together, getting really strong, with Raphtalia being level 25 now, and Naofumi sitting at level 56. Along the way, they also learned skills, communication, teamwork, and most importantly, they got to know each other. Naofumi had also shared a bit more about his abilities, even though he doesn't know how he has them. Now we're gonna skip to Ironheart is bored and he's sitting at his counter when two people walk into his shop. Ironheart then says, "Is that you, kid? You kinda changed a bit, didn't you?" Raphtalia then says, "I know, right? He won't cut it off no matter how much I tell him to." Naofumi then says, "What? I think he looks cool. Besides, would you rather me be bald or something?" Raphtalia and Ironheart then laugh, and Ironheart then says, aside from Naofumi, you really changed too, little lady." Raphtalia then says, "Yep, I'm not a kid anymore." Naofumi says, "Sure you aren't." He then, flashback to the most embarrassing moments of Raphtalia and just can't help but laugh. And Raphtalia pouting hits him on the shoulder as Ironheart laughs even more and says, "I missed you guys. Anyway, I'm guessing you're here for something important, right?" Raphtalia then says, "Yeah, we're here to get some new armor." I'm gonna end it off there. Like always, I hope you guys liked that video, and don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video with anybody else that might like, what ifs. And have a good day. I'm gonna get back to my assignments because I'm really screwing up in my English class. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.